on. Okay. Oh wait, there's no Oni here. Let me take that away. Okay. So guys, welcome to episode 20. Yeah, we're actually on episode 20. It's crazy. Episode
Wow.
20 of 2.5 Crows. Unfortunately, it is only 1.5. Crow is not here. She's doing something with family today, I believe. But Sky's still
Yes.
here.
Hello.
Yeah. So everybody doesn't know real quick. 2.5 Crows is a podcast with me, Skyrus, and Mommy Crow, where we answer your questions. They don't have to be Elsword related, but they tend to be just because we play Elsword. So yeah. All right. Do we have any questions that we want to talk about? I have something unique I thought of for this one. If we want to go into
Ooh,
that.
okay.
But do we have any just in general?
We actually had one in your video comments.
But
So
do we want to say the one
yes.
for Crow though? I know we were talking about that.
Oh,
Behind the camera.
oh, that part wasn't clear. Okay. In that case, then I think it might be helpful for us to all discuss it
Yeah,
and
yeah,
post back.
yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So I'll go into what I was thinking.
Okay.
It's something we can both can answer. Okay, so I was told this question in one of my high school courses. I was told like this is one of the questions they may ask you for like getting into certain colleges and stuff like that. Because it's a good apparently it I guess reveals things about you kind of. Anyway, the question is
Oh, those things. Okay.
yeah. So the question is, if you could invite any 3 people over for dinner, real or imaginary, who would they be, and what would you serve them?
Oh God.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. Okay. Here the problem is
Mhm.
if this is a like if I'm being asked this at a
Yeah,
job
wait.
interview like
You take
yeah
that
like
part
a
out. Take that part out
okay.
because yeah, that
Oh,
was just
okay.
context of where this question came. Yeah, I'm not just a genius and didn't think of this. That's just context of where this came from. But you can take that out
Oh,
of the
okay.
equation if that's making that annoying for you.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Is it alright for me to comment on that like particular context though?
Yeah, we can talk about that a little bit as well.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting question to ask, especially because I feel like if you were to answer it, you can. Well, it's more like I don't know. I don't know about you, but I feel like
Mhm.
there is a need to tailor the answer to that question depending on what you're applying for. Like, say for
Yeah.
example, if I'm an artist and I'm applying to like a mobile game company and everyone there are like weebs and your interviewer is a weeb,
Mhm.
then I'm very safe in talking about I like to invite X anime character
Mhm.
because blah blah blah, and then it's certain blah 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 because that's the, and then go on and all that.
Yeah.
But if I were applying to I don't know a financial firm,
Mhm.
me talking about anime characters, why not
Yeah, it might not
come
be the
off
best.
as
Yeah.
yeah, which I think is interesting.
Mhm.
But
I think that's also interesting too because like what you're saying is I think very true, but I think it could also work in the opposite. Like maybe if what is that? If you know that going in and you use that kind of strategy, like maybe the person who's like interviewing you or whatever, they see that and they're like, okay, this person's maybe not being truthful. They can kind of maybe tell. It's just like okay, they're just saying this. Yeah, you know what I
oh,
mean? Like maybe they could tell like oh it's this answer again. It's like oh it's this person again, like kind of thing, you know?
mm. Do you happen to know what kinds of things that this is supposed to be
Yeah, I don't know. Like I just
testing?
yeah, this
Hmm.
I think the main thing is it tests your the people either real or imaginary that you look up to maybe or like where your interests lie, definitely that one because
Oh, okay.
yeah, and like I think that like that's the first part, right? Because and
Okay.
the second part I think is equally as important. And I think that's what the best thing about this kind of like what would you call this? Maybe like a prompt or something, maybe a prompt. I
Mm.
think the second part is really important. It's because it's the what would you serve them? Because I think that tests how well you understand like whoever this person is, or I think that's like
Oh.
it's almost like the BS mirror, like you know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like if you say if you say a person that's like maybe like just a very prestigious person or things like that, and then you talk about what would you serve them, and it's like basic stuff, and it's just like is this person being truthful? You know what I mean?
Hmm. But I think at the same time, like if you're offering to serve them I guess like it depends a lot on how you. Well, actually, do you have to? Does the question say to justify why you're serving?
No, I don't think it's justified. I think it's just what would you serve them? Like that's just your opinion. Like what would you serve that person?
Oh,
Because I
so
think
you actually
yeah.
so you actually have no chance to justify why you're serving them that.
Yeah, yeah, I think it's well no, I think you can justify it, like as in like why would you serve them that? Like I think you can explain that.
Because I think it makes a world of difference if you can and
Mhm.
can't. If you
I
can
think I
versus if
believe
you
you
can't.
can. Yeah, I believe you can
Okay.
explain because I think again like that's like the VS mirror because if you explain why you serve them that, then you have a good understanding of who this person is and kind of why you look up to them, and then I think they can see like what type of values from whoever this is you're looking up to. Like what are you trying to like? What do you look up to them for? Kind of thing like that. Almost.
Mm,
Because if
yeah.
you because I feel like if you can describe what they like to eat, then like you can kind of describe like what type of person they are too. Because like that goes into
Mm,
the I rather the first part, which is why you wouldn't even invite them, is just like oh I'll probably invite this person because they're this and that, and then I'll serve them this because they like this or like maybe you can go into like why would they like this. I think it's a cool interesting question.
yeah, I agree.
Yeah. And I think
So
you know what honestly it is too. I think one of the main thing it also tests is probably passion, because
oh yeah.
if you can describe something like that that's so like almost weird and vague, if you can describe that in a good way, I think that definitely shows passion.
Mm, for sure. And I
Mhm.
think even if you don't, oh, how do I say it? Like even if you don't ramble on and on and on and on, maybe the way, maybe like your body language or the way you talk can kind of give off that passion, and then the interviewer is like, oh,
Mhm.
this
Mhm.
person's in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm. So is there anything else you want to talk about in terms of the
I mean,
like
but I
the
said,
context?
do you want to answer the question?
I guess if we're done with the context, I guess we can answer the question.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me try to think of
So
it. Well,
speaking,
wait, real quick. Let me think of anything else with the context.
hmm,
No, not really. I think one thing important thing is that like it's almost like sky's the limit that you can say whatever you want. And that's important too. Yeah. But yeah. If you want to answer the question, go ahead.
okay, I'm going to be honest. I need some time to think.
Very understandable. Uh,
Yeah.
like even I'm like thinking
What?
like, mm-hmm. Okay. I think number one. Well, not number one, but like one of the people would be Tetsuya Nomura, the guy who made Kingdom Hearts, or rather the director for it. Just because Kingdom Hearts has been such a big, impactful video game series in my life, I've met so many friends from it, and like I just love all the games. I love the stories, and like he's such an interesting guy in the way that he shapes his stories, and like being able to combine something as like so distinct as like Disney and Final Fantasy, like almost polar opposites of like media, to be able to combine that into one series and make a popular series. And not only that, but he made the series so good that like before I think Kingdom Hearts was like using Disney and Final Fantasy to kind of lift them up. Like they were kind of using that as a crutch. But I think as the games have gone on, he's kind of made his own story and his own world that like people just enjoyed the game for like just those characters. Like in my opinion, I don't think Kingdom Hearts needs Disney or Final Fantasy anymore. In my opinion, I think it can stand on its own 2 feet. So just being able to like sit down like and eat a meal with him and talk to him about like his journey, like not even like how he's like been making the games, like writing the game story wise, even like him as an artist. He's a really good artist. Just talking to him about that, I think that'd be great. In terms of what I
Mm,
would serve him, like that's actually difficult. 'Cause I don't know too much about the guy because I think
mm,
they're pretty. They're pretty not secretive people, but I don't think they make many people know uh, who they're about. I think I personally would serve him uh, some rice and curry, things that I know how to make well, because I think my thing with that is just like I'm so respectful of the things that he made and things like that I think making something for him, like a meal for him that I made, I think that would just be something like almost really great there, where like I'm honoring the things that he made and I'm so interested in what he made, and then I'm trying to do my best to make something good for him, to just eat.
mm.
Yeah, that's one for me. Tetsuya Nomura, creator of
Okay.
Kingdom Hearts.
Oh, are we alternating?
Did you have one?
Or are you going to go all three? Or are you gonna wait? So or are you gonna say all three and then I say all three, or is it one from
I'm
you,
gonna say
one
I
from
think
me?
I needed some more time to think about another one.
The second one. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, hmm. Oh, this is hard. Uh, so I think when I think about this question, my first thought is to go towards fictional characters,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I guess yeah, definitely because I guess the characters that I'm honestly more familiar with,
yeah.
and in terms of real life, I don't really socialize that much.
That's fair.
So
No,
I'm
no,
like,
that's 100%
yeah,
fair.
yeah, the one. Anyway, so I think the first one that comes to mind is Nagisa from Ensemble Stars.
Yeah, I had a feeling.
And yeah, so the first reason why I wanted to invite him over is because I guess I just really like him as a person,
Mhm.
even though he has obvious flaws, like he's not that great at communicating. He can sometimes be a bit selfish.
Mhm.
His moral compass is a bit like iffy, like simply just because he hasn't really been taught it.
Mhm.
He still has that like underlying passion for the things that he loves, and
Mhm.
I think that part of me is what I think that's something that I really admire because personally, like I'm someone who like I don't feel positive emotions that with like that intensely. If that makes any sense. So when it
Mhm.
comes to passion, like I don't like whenever I get something, I feel like I don't feel really passionate about something. Whereas for him, I think he's a bit similar in my respect in terms of that he can be really passionate about something, but he won't. But like
Mhm.
outwardly,
Mhm.
he won't express that as much. Like maybe really because he can't really communicate effectively.
All right.
But yeah, anyway, he has passion like that.
Mhm. Mhm.
As for what I want to serve him, I guess like a roast or something.
Ooh, a rose. That's nice.
Something like something homey and warm.
Mhm. Mhm.
Think I guess I think that's one. Like he really likes new experiences, and
Mm.
because because he's been an idol all his life, like he only knows how to be an idol, doesn't know how to live like a regular human being. So there's actually an event where he goes up to a character and goes, "Help! I don't know how to buy vegetables."
Wow.
yeah, yeah. And
That's
then
funny.
yeah. So I guess like because of that, he's really interested in I guess like assimilating with the human world now that he's like not stuck in isolation anymore, and he wants to try new experiences. So I think because he's Japanese, and he's been an idol, I'm not sure whether he would have tried a roast before, but
Mhm. Mhm.
I think it'd be really nice for me to have one. Also because it's really simple. Like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
something that I don't have to worry so much about. Oh, am I gonna fuck this up? I'm gonna fuck this up. Like I can just make it and just be like, oh, I'm making it for others. So wow,
Yeah.
making it with love, I guess.
Oh, that's
Maybe.
nice.
Yeah. I guess that kind of feeling. So it's kind of like
Yeah.
I can put more of my emotion into it without worrying about fucking it up.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
then and does he have big stomach? I don't actually know. But yeah, just new culinary experience.
That's
Simple
cool.
recipe.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
This makes sense. This makes sense. All right.
Hmm.
Nice. Nice. All right. I guess I'll go next. I got another character ready. Uh,
Okay.
this time I got a fictional character. Honestly, I think it's gotta be my boy Raven. I'm gonna be honest.
Okay.
I think it's
Okay,
gotta
yeah,
be
fair.
my boy Raven. Cause like I just really want to I just want to talk to this man about like all his life, specifically Novemperator. I I think
Mm-hmm.
if in fact if we're genuinely gonna rank them, I think I would want to have dinner with Novemperator first, then Rage Hearts, and then FB. Mostly because I don't think FB would be a good talker, so I don't think I'd have a good conversation with him. Um, I think Ray Charles I'd be sympathizing with him a lot, but I think I have a genuinely good conversation with Nova because I think we share a lot of the values and like the importance of the friendship and like the people in your life. Just kind of talking to him about like how does it feel like with everything you've been through, like just talking to him about like his path of redemption and then like just like where do you go from here? Is like what are you gonna do with the rest of your life and things like that, and just talking to him about that, and just I don't know. I think we have a good time. In terms of what I would feed him, oh man, this one's tough. It had to be something simple because we've seen he doesn't like too much like greasy or complicated foods.
Mm.
Cause he's like a military boy, so he likes the simple stuff. Like I'm trying to like think of like, oh man, I'm trying to think of like something simple. Hmm, like something simple I know how to make. Hmm. I mean, to be honest, I think just like some just simple chicken, white rice, and like maybe some bread rolls or something. I don't know, something very simple, like a simple just this is just food to eat, like to have dinner, like nothing too complicated, too like fatty. You know, the chicken's very lean meat, so I don't think that's too bad. I think the problem with fried chicken he was having was that it was fried, you know. But
Mm.
I think just maybe like an oven roast chicken. I think that'd be cool. I think he'd like that.
Mm.
Uh, yeah, yeah.
Okay. Oh, is it my turn?
Yeah, yeah. If you have someone.
Okay. Okay. I do have someone.
Okay.
I'm just gonna think about what I want to say on the fly, but
It's
I
all
want to
good.
say Ibara, also from Ensemble Stars.
Ooh, okay. Ibarra.
So why I want to invite him is because this guy just needs a break.
Mm-hmm.
Like holy shit, he's like this close to collapsing from overwork. It's not even funny.
Mm-hmm.
So I think just being able to, I guess it does mean that he'd have to like take time off his schedule
Mm-hmm.
to like come over and everything. But I think I don't know. He just needs a break. And I
Mm.
want to provide him with a break, and also because I'd be really interested in interacting with him on, I guess, because the thing with him is that he puts up a very clear like barrier with everyone else he interacts.
Mm.
Well, except with his own unit, it's kind of breaking down a bit. But with
Yeah.
everyone else, it's kind of like, I am a businessman. You are my like talent or whatever. There is a very clear line that we can't cross.
Mm-hmm.
And then because of that, he ends up putting on some kind of like persona, like this really like bright, like cheery, energetic business like persona that he uses whenever he makes a business talks and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But then because of that, you don't really get to see his true side, and I guess like that's something that I'm very interested in. And I guess like being able to interact in a more like domestic setting, like over dinner, is kind of works.
Mm.
And I guess even if we're just talking about his work, I guess he wouldn't be able to tell me much. But even if we're just talking about work, like I'd be interested in listening to him just talk about shit that annoys him or
Right, right, right. Just
that
kind of
kind of thing.
chilling.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, just
Oh.
talk.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think he's been an interesting person to talk to, especially because he's so
Mm-hmm.
that
Hey,
kind of
Nani.
person. Yeah, yeah. And then for dinner,
Real quick,
this is
since someone just joined the chat, the
oh
topic right now
hello.
is it's a prompt. It's if you could invite 3 people over for dinner, real or imaginary, who would they be and what would you serve them? Continue. Let's go.
Yeah. Okay, so for dinner, I'm not 100% sure of this one, but I think like considering he's an idol as well and he really takes care of his diet, I think maybe like a simple traditional like Chinese dinner.
Hmm.
So maybe you'd have like full rice and like a vegetable side dish,
Mm-hmm.
a meat side dish, maybe a soup, and then
Hmm.
maybe like a simple like meat soup and then call it a day.
Mm-hmm.
But I think what I'm most interested in serving him is dessert.
Hmm.
He Okay, I know this is I know this is a joke within the fandom. Also, like it's a joke from like a joke comic
Right.
series, but like officially his favorite food is listed as nutritional supplements.
The heck?
But in that in in that comic, it's pudding. So
Oh.
like he's just eating. So I think basically in a joke comic, he's just eating pudding, and it's not like the entire fandom is like, oh my god, he loves pudding. But I think, and I think in canon he eats protein jelly. Anyway,
Protein jelly. Okay.
I guess like one of the big reasons why I want to serve him. So this is going under the assumption that he actually does like sweets.
Mm-hmm.
So this is really interesting because he's so like uptight about his image and
Mm.
about like well I guess like he doesn't 100% take care of himself because he might be a bit sleep deprived.
Mm.
But in pretty much every single other aspect he's like so uptight about things, and so I think being able to serve him something sweet as a treat is extra nice. So if I could, if I could, like, if I had the chance to practice, I would want to serve him pudding. Even and then I guess maybe like with a simpler recipe if making pudding is actually hard because I haven't actually looked at pudding recipes, but yeah, I think the highlight for me would be dessert,
Oh.
and then the dinner is just kind of yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure whether that counts, but
No,
yes.
that counts. That counts. Questions, whatever you want to
Okay.
make it. All right.
Okay. Yes.
Now, for number 3 for me. Okay, this one. Okay, I have one in my mind, and if this one doesn't work, I have like a backup. If that makes sense,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because it does say people. Okay, I'm gonna pose a weird situation, and then if that one doesn't count, I'm just gonna put another backup one right after, because
Mm.
if I could, I think it'd be a group of people, and those people, I know it sounds maybe even stupid or cheesy, but honestly, those people would be my fans, people who watch or subscribe to me and stuff.
Oh.
I know. It just, I don't know. I'm so appreciative of anybody that watches me or like enjoys the stuff that I make and anything like that. And like, I would genuinely love it if I could legitimately invite everybody over and just like cook some food. And the thing that I would serve for them is obviously whatever I can cook. I would just cook as many things as I can, have the best that I can, and serve for them and make sure they're happy and enjoy. And then yeah, just talk with them, just hang out with all of them, find out who they are, like their interests, their hobbies aside from Elsword. I'm sure most of them follow me for Elsword. Just like find out like what jobs do they have, what schools do they go to, like what do they want to study about, like what are their interests. Like I would just love to talk with legitimately all of them, like every single one of them. I think that'd be great. Like I think I would have the absolute time of my life personally.
Mm.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah. And my backup, just in case we don't want to count that, my backup is Shoko Komi from the manga Komi Can't Communicate. She is a
Oh.
girl who has was it? I guess you call it social disorder. She just really can't talk to people. A communication disorder. There you go. Communication
Oh.
disorder.
Okay.
So yeah, I think it'd be great to have her for dinner because she has a communication disorder. So I would just try my best to strike up a conversation, just a normal conversation with her. And then just like hang out. And I think this is a good thing too with like what we're gonna have for dinner. What I would have for dinner with her is sushi because I've never had sushi and I know she has, so she can tell me about it, so she can communicate to me about it. You know,
Oh.
so a little thing there because I know that's something that helps people who have communication problems is talking about something that like they've done to somebody else, like for somebody else, you know, kind of
Mm.
either explaining it's her explaining it to me because I know it's part of Japanese culture and like things like that. And she's like, okay, what type is the best? What's her favorite? And it's like, oh, you should try this one. I was like, okay, I'll try that one. You know, things like that. You know, strike up conversation with her the best that I can because she has a communication disorder. So you know, just be friends with her.
Mm.
It's cool, cool. Yeah, I've never ate sushi. Just never the opportunity never presented itself.
Yeah. Just somehow it has never happened.
Yeah. But yeah, that's my third one.
Okay.
Also, she's my
Oh
waifu.
God.
No, just kidding.
Oh. Okay. I could feel it. The waifu attachment.
Yeah.
Uh, hmm. I can't decide between two people in my last one.
Mm.
So can I just say both since we're technically not in this
Yeah.
situation?
This is what we can make it. This is what we can make it.
Hmm.
I say I did two at the end, so go for it.
Okay. So I guess the first. Oh, by the way, when it comes to cooking dinner, does it count if we cook? Okay, wait, never mind. I'm gonna say this for the thing.
Sure.
So I want to say this little thing. Okay, so I guess out of the two, I can't decide one. The first one would be child. Good
Okay.
dinner fact.
Oh yeah. The boy. Yeah.
Okay, so why do I want to eat dinner with him? I guess it's because yeah, he's such a sweet guy. I mean, well, one is the part where he likes violence but he's a sweet guy.
Mhm.
Domestically, and I think just the way that he has passion and just his want to protect his family and like spoil them and
Mhm.
all that, I think is something that maybe I admire. I don't know. It's really weird. I don't know. It's really weird to me because often I don't stick to characters have who have their family as an important part of them, simply because I just didn't have great experiences with my own. But it's but I don't know. Anyway, as for what I want to serve him, I think for me, I think for me, it's less about wanting to serve him and more like wanting to be able to cook with him.
Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah, you can put
Yeah.
that in. You can toss that in. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, I think I'd want to. I think I'd want to make his signature dish, a priced catch.
Oh, is that
So
it? Yeah, I
maybe
never knew what this dish was. Is
priced
that
catch. Yeah.
okay,
It's
okay.
yeah, it's basically the calorie seafood soup plus this octopus thing that he caught somewhere. And then I don't know. I guess like again, like for me, the most fulfilling part would be not serving him the food, but actually making it with him. Hopefully,
Yeah.
I think. Well, at least I think he'd be willing to teach me how to make the stew. And then I guess when you make something and then you eat it together,
Yeah.
you get conversation with and I guess I want to talk to him a lot about. I guess one thing that I'm really interested in knowing is the kind of stories that his dad told him when they went ice fishing, and maybe just stories about the stuff that he's like done, or like the monsters, big bad monsters that he's eaten.
Or the people that he's been.
Uh,
Or maybe not that one.
yeah, because if he's beaten them, he's probably killed them. But
That's true. That's true. That's true.
yeah, and I guess, especially if we're eating like away from his hometown, I guess like just talking about his hometown, and assuming we're not eating with his family, then about his family.
Yeah.
Although I think it'd be really nice. Although I think it'd be really nice if we could just invite his whole family, and then we have this one big dinner with all his siblings and stuff, and then we talk about. Anyway, anyway, so that's child finished, I guess, and then the other person that I want to talk about is, I guess, well, I call her my cousin, but in the family tree, she's really my aunt. But she's like 9 months older than me.
Okay.
So that relationship was kind of weird. But anyway, so I see this thing on your stream now.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought I might as well add it to the screen just in case people pop in. Just put it in Sarah's hair or something.
Oh, okay, that's good.
Yeah.
So I guess I want to invite. The thing is, we've known each other our entire lives because our mothers grew up together. So it's like the instant we were born. It's like I don't remember a time when I never knew her. She probably doesn't remember a time when she didn't know me. So, and I guess one of the reasons why our relationship has stuck over the years is because because I think we've just been able to just pick it up wherever we left it off. So I think throughout high school we maybe talked like once every few months, but every single time we just be able to pick it up.
Yeah.
And I think recently we began to talk much more often because of Genshin, because we both play Genshin now.
Oh, that's nice.
And yeah, and I guess even though like I've seen her so much and we've had dinner so much together, I want to invite them. I would say to invite her over because she's been there with me my entire life. Every single other friend that I've made, I've just kind of like fallen out with them. Like it's more like once we no longer had a reason to meet or talk, I just never talked. And I think it might be because I generally don't pursue friendships in real life because to me they're just like the reward is not worth the effort.
I understand that to a degree. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a maintenance thing. Like you gotta keep it up.
Yeah, it does take effort. Yeah.
So, and I guess that's one thing I wasn't willing to commit. So because of that, whenever I talk to people, it was more like maybe I was in a band, and then I talk to people, I get along with them, and so even though we've gone on like many tours together, maybe we've like shared like food. You know, there's like I don't know whether you have camps, but like you know when you have camps and you have like there's one big room with a billion bunk beds, and then everyone like
yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that kind of thing. Yeah. So even though we've kind of shared that experience so many times, and like just have had a billion bonding moments together. Like once I just don't have a reason to meet up with them regularly anymore. Like I just don't talk to them anymore.
Yeah.
So whereas for her, like I guess it's that she's a family friend, and there's also that our parents like regularly communicate. I guess that's the reason why we didn't really fall apart. But otherwise, it's also that even though we message each other, then we meet up, and I don't know, like she's literally the only person in my life who's stuck with me, and I don't know. I just feel like if I don't honor that particular part of our relationship, it's a bit. I don't know. I'm just really grateful for that. As for what I'd serve her, this is really interesting because I'm not sure whether I actually know her favorite foods. As weird as it sounds.
No, that's alright. I mean, sometimes the topic just never comes up, you know.
Yeah, we just end up talking about Genshin. Anyway, yeah, I think I just serve her a traditional Chinese dinner as well.
Okay.
Simply because it's down to it, and I guess there are a couple of foods that she likes, and I guess it's something that we're both familiar with as well. So maybe we could be like, okay, let's go make some wontons, and then we just boil a bunch, and then we eat. But I think when it comes to the dinner, the important part is not what's being served, but more of like the conversations that happen at the table. I would think, like we just kind of like I guess it's kind of like so I guess in a sense inviting her over for dinner is an excuse to talk to her. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oops, I probably went on a long rant.
That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, finished.
It's all good. It's all good. Also, I just really need to maybe move this text because this is what the chat box is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Hold on.
Okay.
I guess this is okay. I don't know. I'll workshop this idea. I just had this idea while we were talking. Like I was just like, people just entered, and I didn't want to interrupt you again like I did last time. So I was just like, what if I did something? I'll think about that later. But yeah. So you said Nagisa, Ibarra, what were your last two? Child and cousin aunt? Cousin, but actually aunt?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Alright, that was a good question.
I think so too.
Yeah. Do we have another one ready? That was the best one I had. That's kind of like the main thing. I just like, I should ask this today. Just kind of came with that ready.
Juice.
Yeah. I just kind of want to. Anybody in the chat have a question that they want to ask? The stream is so wholesome. Thanks, Ella. I'm gonna like move the chat lower. If I can find the chat. I'm trying to think of something. Let me think of something on the top of my head.
Yeah, same.
That's in case no one in chat has one. That's why we need Crow. Crow's good at doing that.
Yeah, she just comment like, hey, did you know XYZ?
Yeah. Well, okay, wait. I have something we can talk about. So there's actually a tournament going on right now. Have you ever been interested to watch Elsewhere tournaments? Do you watch Elsewhere tournaments? Just what are your thoughts about them?
The only tournament that I've watched was this was years ago when Kirby Blade had played.
Oh, I think I know the one you're talking about. I think I know.
It was the finals. Which I think it was Iron Paladin and Sakura Devon versus Kirby Blade and Aerocode.
Yep.
Aerocode was an Empress at the time?
I do believe so, yeah.
Yeah. I still remember those like final like tense moments when both teams are on 3 kills and everyone's on low HP and Aero's HP bar was like not even visible.
And then like what is it? Kirby tried to use his hyper and it got the aura so low, but it just couldn't quite finish her off.
Yeah.
I remember that to this day. I can still see it in my head of just like the Blade Master hyper just going through, like slashing them all through the sky, but not quite finishing her off. I to this day I still remember that. I can still see that.
Yeah, and then the GMs are like going crazy.
Yeah.
So tense. Because if
Mhm.
someone gets a catch, then it's all over.
Yeah, pretty
So
much. I think Kirby did lose that, if I'm
yeah,
correct.
Kobe did lose that, yeah.
Mhm.
Um,
I'm
yeah,
typing
but I
anything.
think outside of that, that was like the only tournament I've watched, and I think but ever since then I've definitely fallen out of also PvP. I think PvP is still somewhat can be fun to watch, especially with
Mhm.
friends. So like
Yeah, yeah.
I remember when I was sitting beside Crow as she PvP'd,
Mhm.
and then we're just like laughing and screaming together as she like makes mistakes or like gets hit by stuff. So I think with friends it's fun,
Yeah.
but otherwise I don't watch PvP content.
Yeah, for me, when it comes to tourneys, yeah, I think that is my most memorable tourney. Um, in my head personally is that one with Kirby Blader. Like I think that was the first Elsewhere tournament that was just like a big kind of big spectacle, and like so many. I remember so many people were watching, and it was so tense. Like I even made like a bingo sheet of just like skills of just like who could be the first to get a bingo. I literally made a bingo sheet that had like harpoon spear, like or sharp fall. I forget what the Devi skill was at the time. That was really good. Flying kite, and it's like I don't know. It was just a lot of fun, and I don't think there's ever going to be an experience, at least for me, that's going to beat that. Uh, what else? I think you know what the main thing is for me though. I think elsewhere tournaments go on for too long, in my opinion.
Oh,
Cause
like the time limit is too
no,
long.
no, like the actual tournament itself, like even like
Oh,
a simple elsewhere tournament can easily clock in at 5 hours plus, and that's a lot. That's a lot of
oh,
elsewhere to watch.
yeah.
That's a lot of. I mean, it's understandable because it's just like it's best of three, and then the finals and usually semifinals are best of five, and so it's just like
Hmm,
that's a lot of Elser to watch. It's a lot of Elser to watch, and especially if
hmm,
like the teams are very similar, you're watching the same person play a lot. Like, I mean, I'm sure if you're really into it, and like especially if it's your friends, like people that you know, or when it gets to the finals, when it gets to those epic moments, like those are great too. Usually the final hours are some of the best. But watching the whole thing through, it can kind of feel like a commitment. To be honest with you, it definitely can feel like a commitment.
hmm,
So I don't think I can ever watch a full Elsewhere tournament front to back from start to end. But I think coming in at the beginning and then watching like all the early matches and then coming back at the end, your semifinals and finals, I think that's a legitimately good time. And I do love watching Elsewhere tournaments just because like I think for better or for worse, Elsewhere's PvP is pretty decent in terms of the gameplay itself. Like I know it's weird to say this, but I think it's like strangely somewhat balanced. Not in the sense that
hmm.
everything is fair, in the sense of there's a lot of viable classes that each have their own disgusting, grimy advantages.
Hmm.
I think a
Yeah, so
lot of
instead of like yeah, so pretty much everything. So yeah, so I think some classes started having like disgusting stuff, and then Cog just gave
Mhm.
everyone disgusting
Right, like
stuff.
like I feel like if you did a PvP tier list, there'd be a lot of people in high rank, like couple people in mid. Like, well, I think there's be a lot of people high rank, a good amount of people mid, and very low amount of people in low tier. I think there's actually a lot of viable characters that each have their own individual disgusting, grimy stuff that they could just kind of do. Like, you got Nova, who's just like can do good damage and gets better as his HP gets lower and has revival. You got like Daybreaker, who has like crazy range and good Okies, like and a one-hit combo. You got like CC, who's very naturally tanky and has a great splash skill that does crazy damage. You got like Devi, who has great range and has like what is it? One of the strongest splash skills in the game. You got Rage
Hmm.
Hearts, who has like pretty good skills all around and like a really solid one-hit skill that can just absolutely end you. Um, I think a lot of people have their own disgusting stuff that they can just kind of whip out that like PvP is like such weirdly balanced. Um, yeah, and I think that's a cool thing. I mean, one kind of on the side of bad-ish kind of thing in my opinion, is like I, I watch a lot of tournaments and I definitely always look at the winners. Usually the winners are the same group of people, to be honest with you, which is you know not a bad thing. I'm not definitely not a bad thing because like if you're the best, like good, like absolutely good. That's good for you. Like that's amazing. Like more props to you. People should like if people can't beat you, that's their fault. Like you keep being the
Mm.
top. But it does
Yeah.
get a bit like, oh well, they won again. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like from an audience standpoint, it's not very fun to watch.
You know, like me personally, I always root for the underdog in like almost any like competitive scene, unless I know of or a fan of a certain participant. I'm almost always voting for the underdog to win. Uh, so that's like I don't know, that's just fun and enjoyable. It's like seeing the same people win. It feels kind of lame. It feels kind of lame, but again, super props to the people who can consistently win. That's just skill at the end of the day. Like
Yeah.
yeah. As much as Elsword is gear too, especially with PvP, the same people do win sparring tournaments though. So a good chunk of
Mm.
that is skill. Like these people are very very capable and very impressive people.
Mm.
Oh yeah, Ella just mentioned the international tournament. Have you seen the international tournament?
Oh, no, I have not. Or maybe I have watched like a snippet. No, no, actually, I didn't watch that. I've just heard like
Mm.
snippets of what happened, but
It happened at a very awkward time. Like I remember being awake at 1 a.m. to watch it, like on I believe like a Friday night, like at 1 a.m. I was like half awake, just being like, "Go NA, you guys can do it." I believe I can't remember off the top of my head, but it was NA, KR, TW, I think. And what was the fourth server? Was it China?
China,
China,
China, yeah.
China, China. KR beat China, and I think we beat Taiwan, I believe.
I
And
think so, yeah.
yeah, and then it was us against KR. We unfortunately lost, and they kind of styled on us a little bit. Hate to admit it, but they kind of mega slashed us. Oh, it did not feel good to watch my fellow NA players get mega slashed. I gotta be honest.
Mm.
Some bad RNG did happen though. Like in to be fair to the NA crew, they got Banthus like 2 or 3 times in a row in random map.
Yep.
Yeah, and like that's really bad map for FP, one of the NA players. One of the I believe it was Lazy playing Fatal Phantom. It's a really bad
Lazy?
map
Okay.
for him. Yeah. Banthus Cave is not a
Oh,
good map, and they got it like 2 or 3 times in a row, and it's like, oh come on guys,
yikes.
really? Yeah, and of course there was a gear disparity as well. The KRs had higher
Mm.
reforges on their
Yeah,
rigmore
yeah.
sets. Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's a bit unfortunate as well, and I'm not sure if this is true, but I don't think the NA players got enough time to warm up because of how they had to, I guess, move their.
Travel?
No, I think it was because the way they like transferred their accounts, they couldn't play on them for quite a while. So I'm not sure though. Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
okay.
not sure how that worked because I guess technically they had to like replicate their like gear and stuff on like an NA. I mean, on like a KR server kind of thing. I'm not sure.
Mm.
But I think it was said that they didn't get maybe a good enough chance to warm up as probably they wanted to compared to the KR people who could just play as much as they wanted to.
Mm.
But it was still fun to watch. It was definitely fun to watch. Also, it is a great game to watch, but it can definitely get, I feel, in my opinion, it can definitely get tiring to watch. If you're just watching it for way too long. Yeah.
I think especially because PvP is so fast paced.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you end up like going through all this stuff, it's just like it just wears at you eventually, especially if you are watching it all in one go with like no breaks.
Elsewhere PvP is very fast paced, but matches can take a while if just depending on like just how the players are, how they're playing in that match. Sometimes you just want to play more passively and not engage too much. Sometimes you just want to keep the advantage and win by timeout. That is a very valuable strategy.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh yikes!
Yeah.
It's kind of, I mean, like that. I mean, like running is kind of boring to watch, but I mean,
Yeah.
you gotta do what you gotta do.
It's so viable though. It's literally so viable. Like the
Mm.
the timer is literally the third player. It really is the third player.
Yep.
Cause at the end of the day, that's a win condition.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Do you watch like other fighting games, tournaments or things like that?
I watched Smash Bros actually.
Me too. Yeah, I watch Smash Bros here and there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I watch a good amount. What's your favorite one to watch?
Oh, I guess nowadays there's mostly online tournaments, and online tournaments aren't.
Well, no, I meant like a game, because I know
Oh,
Melee is
the
like a
game.
different beast than like the other
Oh, which
Smash.
game?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Exclusively Ultimate.
Exclusively Ultimate. Okay. Yeah, I do most. I do watch mostly Ultimate, but I'll catch a melee game here and there just because it's such a different kind of game.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I love. I actually really like watching Ultimate. I think it's really fun to watch, especially when the whole virus thing wasn't a thing and there were actually tournaments happening. Uh,
Yeah, and like
it-
yeah, and stuff that you can do, and like because I feel like offline and online is like very different experience.
oh yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. Yeah, there's just I
yeah.
feel like there's just some characters you really can't play offline, like compared to
Mm.
like online, just because like just some things are not as reactable and like you have to account for even the little bit of lag that could happen. And unfortunately, Nintendo's online is not the best.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Mm.
But yeah, no, I actually really like watching the games. I think it's really fun because
Mm.
you know it's really because well, first of all, I have experience with the game,
Okay,
and
yeah,
so
fair.
yeah, so I know how like what they're supposed to do, and then like I could just be like, oh, you should have done this, or like, oh, I can't believe you did that. Like it's so fun to watch, and I think it's easy to watch too, in my opinion.
Mm.
Yeah.
I think again, especially if you've had experience with the game, you kind of like know what things are. Like you just like you just look at them and go, wow, ah, wow, things are happening. Woo.
Mhm.
But I guess like for me, I never really like played at a high level. Actually, I wouldn't even say high level. It's more like I never progressed past casual. So
Mhm.
I know what things are. So I know what shield is. I
Yeah,
know what
yeah.
dodge is. That kind of thing. But I wouldn't know. But like things like in this situation the player had X Y Z options and
Right.
they
Yeah.
should have gone and they did X option but they should have gone Y option. Like that's the kind of thing that I don't really
Mhm.
like. Well, you say I'm not advanced enough to like know about. So I'm just kind of watching them like, oh wow, this is happening. Oh no,
Mhm.
he got it off that. Oh, someone died.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I got that. I got that.
Yeah.
No, I'm like
Mm.
that too. I'm like that too. Like I know a little bit more. Like I'm just like, okay, he went for that option for like on that edge guard. He could have gone for this one instead. Like that was a good read. But like to a like I'm like a little bit advanced, but not super advanced. I've been like, oh, why did he go for that when he could have gone for this and then this, or he read his opponent like crazy. He knew he was gonna do this. Like I can't super analyze him. I could be like, okay, that's the option he went for, kind of thing.
Oh yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
I get you.
Yeah, like some people can like know 5 steps ahead, and I'm just like, whoa, dude, how do you do that?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I think speaking of that, for me, like because I don't know about this, it makes it all the more interesting when people like review VODs and they and then they like pause it and go, okay, so this, and then they like analyze it, I guess, like
Mhm.
analyzing the set. But for me, like personally, I really enjoy watching those kinds of videos because I think the information is interesting and I'd be interested in learning, but I have no way of learning outside of watching videos because I don't own a Switch, I can't play Smash,
Mhm.
so yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Funny enough, you mentioned that. I just got a Switch recently with Smash Bros. And online. Uh,
Oh.
yeah, yeah. So I've been picking it up here and there. Hey, can you guess what character I'm playing? CEO Faye, thanks for the follow, by the way.
Like, God, but it's
I'll
so
give you a
many.
hint. Okay, if I can I give you a really good hint?
Okay,
It's a
go for it.
DLC character.
Is it Joker?
Close, close. Joker is who I played a lot when I didn't own the game, and I would just play it with friends and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, it was definitely that was a really good choice.
Someone in the chat says Byleth.
Byleth I just picked up recently, and they're pretty fun, but I'm playing them a little bit, but not as often as the character I'm thinking of in my
Okay, wait. I have to. Wait. I actually have to search out what the DLCs
brain. Fair, fair,
are.
fair, fair.
Search out the list of DLCs.
While you do that,
Um.
I will say that funny enough, Meteor Falcon. I did play Captain Falcon quite a bit in Smash 4. I own Smash 4 on 3DS.
Okay.
Played quite a bit of Captain Falcon. Got those needs.
Ooh.
Yeah, I like Captain. I like fast characters. Fast characters are really fun. Heavies are cool too. I like Icon Ganondorf as well. Sometimes I'll play them occasionally. Especially Ganondorf in this game. He got some really crazy buffs. Like he's a little bit
Hmm.
faster and he has the sword now.
Oh.
Pretty cool, pretty cool, pretty cool.
Is it Sephiroth?
Yep, there you go. Sephiroth is okay. Yeah, so Sephiroth is actually the reason I bought the game. Like, funny enough.
Oh.
Yep. I what is it? because I was thinking when I got my Switch, I was just like, do I buy Smash Bros? But I was just like, if I buy Smash Bros, then I have to get the online, and I have to think about what DLCs to get. I'm just like, I'm gonna wait until I see a DLC character I really like, and then like literally like almost a month or two later, Sephiroth drops, and I was like, okay, guess I'm getting the game now. Sephiroth is in the game. Like literally, he made me buy the game because it's freaking Sephiroth. Like, jeez. He's like the badass of badasses.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, like, what is it? Man, like yeah, like literally, I think Sephiroth is the only villain DLC ever.
Oh, actually, let me see. So there's DLCs are Piranha Plant. So Piranha Plant was first, it seems. Then
That one's a
Joker
free
Hero.
one though. I don't think I would count him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So there's Joker. So DLCs are Joker, Hero, Banjo, and Kazooie, Terry, Violet, Min Min, Steve, Sephiroth. So actually, yeah.
Yeah,
He is the only
the only
DLC.
villain. Yeah. Mm. Did you I say we never talked about Smash Bros before. Is there a character you want that isn't in the game yet?
I don't think so, but probably because I haven't really dabbled into Nintendo games in general, and there's also or like console games in general.
Okay. Okay. What about if sky's the limit? There's no rules. Like the only rule is that they have to be a video game character. Who are you putting in the game?
The thing is, this is really hard for me to decide because I'm really satisfied with the characters that they have in there
Okay,
already.
no, that's fair. Yeah, you don't have to add anything. I just wanted to
Yeah.
present that just in case you felt like, oh, they had to be from a Nintendo game or something.
Oh, okay. No, I
Yeah.
think whatever characters I'd want are like cool.
Yeah, but I say
I don't know.
for me, like I talked about Kingdom Hearts earlier with the previous question, it's got to be my boy Sora. I want my boy Sora in there.
Sora is like one of the most like
Yep.
requested characters in the West, actually.
Yeah, and go ahead.
Because I remember seeing a chart somewhere of like characters that people want to see most by like regions. So like
Mhm.
Japan had its own thing, and then the West, and then like America slash like, Europe had its own thing, and then and then remember in the West, Sora was like one, and then what was it for Japan? For Japan, it was someone for Japan, Sora was ranked like way lower, I think. But
Yeah.
someone else was one. I can't remember who it was, but
I think it was. I know you're talking. I don't. I remember that graph too, and I don't quite remember. Yeah, I think Sora was like third place or fifth place for Japan. Like
yeah,
he was there, but definitely not the tip top.
yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I would absolutely love Sora to be in the game. You don't know much about Kingdom Hearts, right?
No.
Okay, so Sora. So here's the thing, right? When it comes to the Kingdom Hearts franchise, Square owns most of the rights to almost everything, but Disney owns the rights to the characters themselves.
Okay.
It's either the characters or just Sora. I know for a fact Disney owns the rights to Sora. I'm not sure if they own the rights for all the characters or just Sora, but I know the fact that Disney owns the rights to Sora. So I think if Sora doesn't get in the game, it's because working with Disney is a pain in the neck, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, because, yeah, Disney kind of just wants to own everything, and they really wouldn't give something up just because, oof, I say. And you can see that definitely in the recent Kingdom Hearts game. Oof, jeez.
I think there's. I remember hearing some things about Disney and in terms of like the fan art situation, because obviously like they have there are hard rules about what you can and cannot make as fan art in
I think so. I think I know what you're talking about.
The nature of fan stuff in their like whatever terms of service that they have for whatever game. And then I hear like while like certain games may have certain rules, like sometimes they don't. Some companies just don't crack down on it as hard.
Yeah.
Whereas I know Disney is like witch hunting people who.
Yeah.
Like Disney's very quick to shut down things that they don't.
Yeah, Disney
yeah.
Did I say? I'll tell you what. I'll give you a little history about Kingdom Hearts. So Kingdom Hearts 3.
Okay.
So Kingdom Hearts 3, right? So one of the worlds is the Frozen world. You obviously know the movie Frozen, right?
Yep.
So usually in Kingdom Hearts games, when you visit Disney worlds, usually the game tries its best to integrate the Kingdom Hearts characters Kingdom Hearts characters, quote unquote, the main cast, let's say, which is Sora, Donald, and Goofy. Obviously, Donald and Goofy's not Kingdom Hearts characters, but they'll travel to these Disney worlds and they'll have like a little segment there, and they try their best to like integrate them into the story of usually the movies, and
Mm,
like do their best to like integrate them in the gameplay as well. Like usually the main Disney character will be your ally in combat, and you'll fight usually a Disney villain. Like for example, if you're when you go to the Aladdin world, you'll team up with Aladdin, you'll fight Jafar.
mm.
Basic stuff,
Oh yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yep.
Now let's go to the Frozen world, and in the Frozen world, literally the story is Sora, Donald, and Goofy see Elsa, talk to her for a bit. Elsa runs away to her castle. They go up to try to catch up with her, fall down, fall down the mountain, go back up
Mm-hmm.
again, fall down the
Okay.
mountain again,
Okay.
meet up with the snowman that she makes, fight the snowman,
Okay.
climb up
Okay.
the mountain again. Turns out she gets captured by Hans, and so they're like,
Oh,
okay, we
okay.
gotta bring Elsa back and encounter Hans, and they don't
Mm-hmm.
even fight Hans. He like just a big monster gets summoned, which is called the monsters in that series is called Heartless. A big Heartless
Mm-hmm.
gets summoned, and that's what you fight. You don't even fight the actual villain from Frozen.
Oh.
So yeah, essentially the movie happened without them being included, and there was even like a recreation of the whole "Let It Go" song and everything. Like they
Oh.
recreated that and everything, and like
Okay.
it was really essentially what had happened. Long story short, is that Disney pretty much said with their stories, hands off our characters essentially. Like, like they
Wow.
said that like Elsa can't fight, so she couldn't be in the party. She couldn't be a boss fight, and they said that they couldn't show Hans's face because it's so bad. It's so bad in the game. Like literally, Hans's face is covered the whole time because they couldn't show Hans having a evil face or something like that. So his
Oh
face,
my
you
god.
either you always see the back of his head or something. It's really, really, really bad. Like, and
Yikes.
yeah, it's a big yikes. And I think one of my theories is that like, because they talk about this in another world in Kingdom Hearts 3 is the Toy Story world, right? So the Japanese developers talked about when they were making the Toy Story world, they got a lot of feedback from the people who made Toy Story, being like, okay, you can't do this. Oh, you can't do this with this character. Oh, this character wouldn't do this, etc., etc. Right?
Mhm.
So I think with the old Kingdom Hearts games, they could have a lot more liberties with the Disney movies that they were playing around with because the original creators aren't there anymore. They've either left the company or they've unfortunately passed on. But the original creators aren't there anymore to essentially, for lack of a better word, meddle, in what
Oh.
the Kingdom Hearts developers wanted to do. But Kingdom Hearts 3, there's a lot of modern Disney movies. Frozen, Tangled was like that too. The Tangled world is just the Tangled movie, except Sora, Donald, and Goofy just happen to be there. But it's literally just the Tangled movie. And again, wait, do you know about Tangled, like the movie?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like you don't even fight Mother Gothel. Again, another Heartless is just summoned that kind of looks like Mother Gothel, but you never actually fight her.
Oh.
You like, and what is it? Oh my goodness, Monsters Inc. That was so bad too. You don't even fight Randall. You fight another
Wow.
monster. Like,
Oh my god.
don't even fight Randall. Like, at least Sully and Mike are teamed up with you, but it's, I don't know. I just feel the like, man, they wanted to do something more creative with it, but like Disney just again going
They
back
just
to that.
couldn't. Yeah.
Yeah, going back to that, Disney won't let you do anything. This Disney is very much like, no, this is mine. You can't do this, and this. There you go, and enjoy making it.
Yeah. It really is. Yikes.
Yeah, Disney is very controlling of the things that they own.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah.
There we go.
There you go. Rant over. Okay.
I think this is like a big reason as to why like there's a fair amount of people who don't support Disney and like because of that just will refuse to touch anything that's Disney related.
Mm.
At least that's the actually one thing that I thought about when you mentioned Disney and like all this like oh Disney won't let you. I don't know why, but the first thing that came to mind was it's not even related. Like it's just related because it's Disney. But have you heard of Twisted Wonderland?
That sounds familiar.
Twisted Wonderland is one of those. It's one of those card collecting husbando games.
Yes. 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 Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. 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 I think
Yeah,
I know what you're talking about.
so it's currently in Japan the top charts for husbando games.
Mm.
There's an official term for this. I can't remember what it is, but the
Mm-hmm.
top charts for Harmonia games is usually it's usually a war between Ensemble Stars Music and Twisted Wonderland,
Mm-hmm.
and then they kind of like go back and forth depending on if there's like events for those particular like things. But from what I've heard of the people who are actually in Twisted Wonderland, like it's fairly okay. I know nothing about the games, by the way,
Mm-hmm.
but it's like the characters themselves are like pretty okay.
Okay.
And it sounds like a very well like fleshed out game, and they have all these like big name voice actors come in and
Oh,
all that.
you know what?
Mm,
Oh man, you know what that reminded me of? Wait, wait, are
okay,
you?
go on.
Wait, I didn't mean to cut you off. I just had a thought. Um, wait, were you gonna say anything
Just
else with that one?
no.
All right. Yeah, I think what it is if Disney owns whatever it is, like they have this. If it's like Disney employees, then they can kind of do whatever they want. If that makes sense. I think it's
Mm-hmm.
because Kingdom Hearts is not only made by Disney but also Square. Like they share it. I,
Oh,
because you saying that the Twisted Wonderland stuff reminded me of something else. It's the Tangled animated series. Um, in the Tangled animated series, so okay, you know about Tangled, so you know about the song she sings that heals people, right?
kind of. But
Okay.
go on.
Yeah, well, long story short, she sings a song and it heals people, right?
Okay, yeah.
In the Tangled animated series, there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, real quick, I need to search up what the song name is because that's important. So wait,
Okay.
Tangled song name. Wait, healing song name. What is it called? What is it called? What's it called? I guess it's just called Healing Incantation. But anyway, long story short, again, is that in the animated series they bring the concept of a reverse healing song, like so instead of healing, it decays essentially, right? And like the thing that blows my mind is that so when she sings this decay song, her hair goes from like golden locks to like dark red, right? It's like dark
Mm-hmm.
red, dark black. I'm sorry. So
Okay.
her hair literally turns dark black. Her eyes get fully black, and like l- literally, this is like a Kingdom Hearts thing. Like this is a literal
Mm-hmm.
Kingdom Hearts thing because, like I was telling you, the Heartless, which are the enemies in Kingdom Hearts, they are usually all have very black designs, and in a lot of other
Mm-hmm.
Kingdom Hearts worlds, we there's definitely instances of characters being corrupted by darkness. Like that's a concept in Kingdom Hearts. Is one of the biggest concepts in Kingdom Hearts is darkness. You know, all the villains use darkness and things like that,
Mm-hmm.
and like corrupting characters is very much a thing that they do. That's one of the big story beats in Beauty and the Beast is that one of the villains tries to corrupt Beast because he's always angry all the time and he wants to make him a heartless. So this is like a Kingdom Hearts concept, and it's like not in Kingdom Hearts. Like, you can't do it in Kingdom Hearts, but you can do it in this Tangled animated series for some reason. Like
What?
that's crazy. Like I just think that blows my mind is that this Tangled animated series is essentially doing a concept that would happen in Kingdom Hearts, and Kingdom Hearts isn't allowed to do it. Like what?
Oh,
So
God,
it's not even
wild.
the fact that like oh we don't want our characters to be represented like this or we can't or I don't want my characters to do this. It's literally just you guys can't do this because you're Square Enix or because you're not Disney. You know, I think that's what it comes down to at the end of the day, and it sucks because creativity is
Yeah,
being sucked out.
I think so
It's,
too. Like especially it it just feels like bullying, kind of.
yeah,
Because in
like
a sense, like because in a sense, like Disney is so much bigger, and they have all this like team of like, so they have like the power to like go, these are our terms, you
mm-hmm,
gotta abide by them. You're the ones in loss if you don't agree. So
yeah.
yeah,
Like it sucks so much because I know the Kingdom Hearts team is talented and I know they're super creative with the things that they can do because I've seen it whenever it's like their own like levels and worlds that they do when there's no Disney characters, they do like really cool and interesting things, and they do even interesting things with some Disney characters that I guess it's okay for them to do, like Donald and Goofy get some really cool things. Like literally Donald has a scene where he's like summons like a huge magical circle and literally does like a huge Final Fantasy attack called Zeta Flare that literally sacrifices his own body to cast, and it's like a giant beam of like red fire, and it's just like so cool, and it's
And then the Disney ones are like, oh, watered
yeah.
down.
And then the
It's
Disney ones are
movie.
just like, okay, it's just a Disney movie. That's it. That's all you get. Just recreate the Disney movie. You can't be creative.
Mm,
It's so bad. Cause like I know they want to do something unique with these characters and like something
but they
interesting with
just
these
can't.
characters, like integrating them into the world and the rules of the world. But I'm sure Disney's just like, nope, you can just recreate. You just have to recreate the movie. Nope, just do the movie.
That's like, yeah.
Cause I don't know. I don't know about you, but like I hate it when like creativity is stifled. Like
Mm,
whenever I hear about executive meddling or things like that, like okay, some instances they make sense of just like okay, this won't sell, or like oh, if you do this idea, it's a bit risque. Okay, sure, but to this level, it's just like, dude, so
yeah.
the product could have been so much better. Kingdom Hearts 3 as a game could have been so much better. I feel if like their creativity was just allowed to flourish a little bit. Yeah.
It'd be like that.
I do, because I think at the end of the day, the thing that sucks the most is that people just take it all out on Kingdom Hearts, or mostly. Yeah, people do take it out on Disney a lot, but a lot of it is just like, Kingdom Hearts takes the hit for that when they're just like, the story's okay, the Disney worlds are just kind of the Disney movies, like, it's just blah, when it could be something amazing.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
Rant part 2 over. I love Kingdom Hearts, but there's a lot of things that could be better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. I still love the series though.
All right, it's time for me to. This is like the moment when you're writing an essay in school and you run out of ideas, but you still need to take up more space in your paper, so you just be something.
Mm-hmm. You got something?
No, at the moment.
Not the moment. Let's see here.
Chat help.
Maybe we should look up like interesting questions to ask. Okay, yeah.
Do you need bait?
Huh?
Oh, sorry, I meant fish bait. By the way, do you need fish bait?
Fish bait? No, I'm good.
Okay.
But this one's 95, but I think I have. Yeah, there you go. I think I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah. Here we go. Fun questions to
Wait,
ask.
Are you sure you don't need more bait? I have like more than triple your amount.
No, I think I'm good. I think I'm good. Honestly, sometimes I forget to fish. To be honest with you. By the way, I'm almost ERP 300. I just noticed it the other day.
Congratulations!
Thanks. I go very slow because I don't really care too much about EXP grinding.
Okay, yeah, fair.
Mm-hmm.
I remember back in the day when, like before Birth was a thing, when like 300 was the dream.
Mm-hmm.
As in because they were like, oh, like Adapt is not that, like Adapt ERP wasn't like too important. I mean, like it's really good to have Adapt, but it wasn't like
right.
You get like 0.07 per point, and past 300, it's kind of like you're getting 0.07 Adapt for like a level that might take you a couple of hours, for like levels that take you like hours each. So then it's like, I think remember back in 300 was like the dream because you got all offensive minus adapt, and then Birth Rate got released, and now like, okay, now you have to do 400 go, and then I'm like, oh come on. So, and then I remember it's 400 now. Back when I had time to burn stamina every day, I was progressing quite. I was getting like 50% of a level every day when I burned stam. So that was really nice, but then I started working, so now I can't do it anymore.
It'd be like that. It really do be like that.
So now I just make sure I progress as much as possible in 2 times XP, like if I can.
Yeah.
What was the original topic again? I feel
no, we were just spitballing. To be honest with you.
Alright.
Yeah, we were just spitballing. I just don't care. Yeah, I just really don't care too much about EXP. Like, beyond what I have, like since birth rate is a thing, like I've had to transfer quite a few ERP points out of polarize and like into like cooldown time now, just because polarized kills me quite a bit, just because half
Okay, yeah,
HP,
fair.
yeah, kind of thing like
Okay,
that.
yeah, fair.
Yeah. So I guess getting more ERP would be good to just replenish that, or just eventually cap out cooldown time. Even though Nova's cooldowns are about to get better soon, in like about 2 weeks. Uh,
Hmm.
yeah, I don't know. That's probably still the best thing to go for, in my opinion, because he
Hmm.
doesn't really have MP problems, so I wouldn't take MP cost as my first choice.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, yeah. Um, yeah. That's pretty much all I had to say about ERP.
Oh, oh no, I'm stuck through. Here we go again.
Okay. Yeah, I looked up what's interesting questions to ask. All of these kind of suck.
Okay.
Uh,
Trying to think of anything that may have happened in Oxford recently.
I say
Oh,
that.
actually,
Go for it.
we did put up. Okay, so on the official forums,
Mm-hmm.
we official Discord. Official forums is dead now.
Yeah, forums
Ah,
are unfortunately gone.
yeah. So, our most recent poll is so. I mean, it's called weekly discussion,
Uh-huh.
but we don't. Do we
Oh
really
yeah,
put
yeah,
weekly
yeah. I
polls?
actually do. I really like the weekly discussion.
Like in general, or the one that we have up for this week?
Oh, in general, just as a general concept.
Hmm,
I used to
I think
participate a
so.
lot before, but I haven't in the past few weeks.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. So I guess we could discuss the current one that's up.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so this current one is about GM live streams.
Okay.
So the questions that are here are: Do you watch the live streams?
I try to watch as much as I can.
But when you can't, it's just
Yeah, when I can, it's not the end of the world. Like whenever there's a GM live stream, it's definitely like, oh, if I'm not doing anything else, I'll watch it. But if I'm doing something else, I won't like be like, oh my goodness, I have to watch the GM live stream. You know?
oh, okay.
Yeah.
And I guess if you so I guess why do you watch it? Since you said yes.
I just like the personalities of the whatever GMs are on. It's usually like Raiden and Rush. I like both Raiden and Rush. So just talking with them, seeing what they do, and just yeah, I don't know. I just like watching them. Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah.
So your answer would be to wait. All these options are kind of memes.
Wait.
They're
Let,
kind of
let, let, let me let me look at them myself.
okay, so if you look at the weekly poll and then Mythic, the greetings everyone, blah blah blah. Yes, I do. They're amazing. Do you watch our lovely GM live streams? Yes, I do. They're amazing. No, I don't. I'm not ready to bask upon the greatest of the GMs. Worry, Pat.
Oh, you saw? Yeah, I guess for Basketball on the Great, I would say yes, I do for the first one, as I do watch their live streams. Why do I watch them? I want to interact with the GMs in the community. I want background noise. Bask in the glory of the almighty GMs. Other reasons. I say
I
A
think,
for me.
yeah, I think A is more. I think the main difference between A and C is more like C is just like I just watch. I don't interact, but I
Yeah.
watch.
Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously because I mean, even though we're moderators, like we're still community volunteers at the end of the day, so we're allowed to participate
Mhm.
in, yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
So,
we're the same way in ELS. You
hmm,
know, we what is it? We represent quote unquote the company in a different type of way, but we can still participate as well in pretty much
yeah.
anything.
Hmm.
Mm.
So I saw what I voted. Do you watch the GM live streams? I vote no, I don't actually.
Okay.
And if no, why not? Timing. If no, why not? I think it's a combination of both of those options actually.
Mm.
So I think when did it change the live stream? I don't think the live stream times have changed from what I remember.
Not that I can think of. They've usually stayed pretty consistent.
Okay, so if that's the case, then I think the live stream where they occur like Friday afternoon in PST, right?
I think so. That sounds about right.
Okay, so for me that's like Saturday morning.
Mhm.
I remember in the past I couldn't really watch them because I had piano lessons at around that time.
Mm.
So I guess like it was because I'm trying to like fit in some last minute practice before my lesson. So I'm like really, really practicing.
Understandable.
and then I can't watch it while I'm getting driven there. So, but I think nowadays I I'm just not bothered to get up that early. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So
That's time is really important.
yeah, usually the weekends I sleep in. So
Mhm.
even though like I don't actually have to get up that early to watch it, it's just I'm not bothered to get up early.
Yeah.
I get it kind of ties into that it's not interesting, but I think for me it's more of a personal thing in that I don't. There's actually I consume very little Elseworld content.
Mhm.
There's the vast majority of what I watch are like optimal plays or speedruns.
Yeah.
Like I watch content to learn about the game, and GM live streams don't just don't give me what I want.
Yeah,
So I
that's
just
fair.
don't
That's
watch
fair.
them.
That's fair. You know, honestly, I need. It, I honestly should upload more of that content because actually don't
You mean like
upload
speedrun?
much raw gameplay content. Like raw, just
Oh,
like
yeah.
how good of a player just I am, just content like that, like dungeon speed runs or like just me doing damage in a Rasa raid. Like I don't really upload that too often. Just I don't know. I don't know why actually. I just haven't. I used to upload Master Road speedruns actually. Uh Specifically Gaia, you know, whenever I got a better Gaia time, I'd upload that.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
But I don't know, I just haven't. I don't know why. Interesting.
I've only uploaded such um. I mean public content because I know I've uploaded like
Mhm.
on this. I've uploaded a lot of unlisted stuff, which is mostly like people requesting things. But
Mm.
in terms of like actual gameplay content, like because speedruns and like optimal play is pretty much the only thing I'm interested in. That's
Mhm.
it's the only thing I think the only thing I upload, and then and then that doesn't happen because I'm not a great player. So
Mhm.
it's um, what were we talking about again?
Just
Like
the concept
how
of
do we get
GM
to
live streams, GM's live stream.
ha- yeah no but
Because you were talking about the reason why you don't like to watch GM live streams.
okay yeah fair.
Yeah. Um.
Um
Speaking of
mm,
GM live streams, there were.
mm,
I honestly kind of wish that like maybe 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 this is like a weird thing to say, but I wish I was
mm,
kind of in more streams with them. There was there
oh,
was it was a while back, so probably
mm,
not many people remember. But when Sea of Ruin first came out, that came with
oh,
Raven's reboot. So I was actually
oh,
in that live stream when they were showing off Sea of Ruin for the first time. Not for the first time, but like when the
showing it
update was
off, yeah.
happening. Yeah. They were just exploring it, and I don't know. That was a fun time. It was actually a fun. I actually like really like hanging out and commentating with them. It was definitely nerve wracking. I don't know.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like it definitely
I
like
think so.
yeah, like even comparing it between my ELS streams where with the GM live streams, it's usually the same, relatively the same amount of people, but just being in a call conversation with Rush and Raiden, I think it was Rush who was in a convo with. I don't know, it just feels like almost like your boss is with you. You can't mess anything up, you know?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, your boss is in the room, so you can't mess
I mean,
anything
I
up.
mean, yeah. I mean, they technically are our superiors, so
Right.
yeah.
It was fun though. It was fun.
Mm, I
I
would
will.
imagine so.
I will say too. Like I'll be okay. I'm a transparent person. I'm usually a pretty transparent person. So I'm gonna be honest. A lot of the reasons why I would watch GM live streams back in the day, before ELS was even a concept, was that like I really just wanted them to know who I was. Like just
Oh,
kind of put my name out there. It's like, oh man, this Meteor Falcon, he interacts. Like, oh, I know who that is. You know what I mean? Like just be
mm,
familiar, just a familiar face essentially. I wanted to be a familiar face.
I think that kind of makes sense. I mean,
Mhm.
obviously, I can't. Obviously, I'm in a very different position to you, so I don't really have that urge.
Mhm. Mhm.
But I guess it's more like I've watched them for such a long time that it's like, hmm, yeah. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. Uh, yeah, no, I would love to interact with them more. To be
Hmm.
honest, that's actually something that we need to do more. I feel like in ELS is that collabs with each other. I think I think each of us are our own individual people with our own individual content that we like to do just on our own. I know people do collabs sometimes, like usually the PvP people will do some collabs together, and I've seen other people do some collabs, but not that many. And I think it's just because we just like doing our own thing. But it would be nice to do a lot of collabs with them. I just don't know what we would do. Is the big thing.
Okay, yeah, fair.
Yeah, it's just like I think the other members as well are just always down to do a collab. It's just kind of like, well, what do we do? You know. I don't know. Just a thought.
Oh, we have a question in the chat.
Oh, we do.
Yes. Which class could you be in a fist fight? Ooh.
What the? None of them. What the heck? They all have magic. I'm a dude.
Okay, yeah, actually, yeah. Also, the keyword here is fist fight, so no weapons.
Okay.
The problem is I do kendo.
Okay.
So,
oh, you have an advantage. Okay, you're skilled. You got some skills. Okay.
No, but the thing is, like, kendo is all about using the sword.
Oh shoot, you're right. Okay. Okay, no magic allowed fist fight. Okay, no magic allowed, just fist, like raw punches. Okay, I'm punching Aisha in the face. Elboy could probably beat me. I'm punching Aisha in the face. Rena's pretty tough. I don't know if I could beat Rena. I'm not going to mention Raven. That is a trained military man. Like, you're not beating Raven. That is a trained military man. I need to look at the character list again.
I think with Eve, like, you can be able to hurt her. Like, if you punch her, I think
she's metal.
You more than...
So I think she just outlasts. I think Eve outlasts me.
Yeah.
Chung is deceptively strong. He holds up that cannon.
Yeah.
Chung is deceptively strong. Don't step out on Ad. I mean on Chung. Aura, she's kind of clumsy. I think I could maybe take her on in a fist fight. I think I'm punching Aura in the face.
I don't think so. I think because I think.
Oh, she knows martial arts. Crap.
Yeah, she's clumsy in like every aspect except for the fighting part.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, dang it. She knows martial arts too. Okay, yeah, I think I might be screwed.
Yeah. So I think like even without her spear, I think I feel like when you're learning martial arts, like with a weapon, like you have to learn how to fight without the weapon as well as with the weapon.
Fair. Yeah, I think Aura wins that. Again, I'm not even gonna talk about Alessis. Trained. That is a trained army woman. Not even close. Ad without his technology, maybe. I don't know.
I think
he kind of like
it. Kind of.
He's really powered up by his dynamo. Dynamo.
Yeah, so without.
I think I'm punching Ad in the face. I think that's pretty solid.
Yeah, same.
Maybe. There's definitely a maybe, but I think that'll work out.
I feel like Aisha's the most confident.
Yeah, Aisha's the most confident. I'm definitely punching her straight in the face. There's nothing stopping me. Maybe morals, but if we're not talking about that.
Yeah.
Definitely not Seal. Seal is a trained assassin. No way in hell. Lou though? Good question.
Because she relies so much on her power.
Yeah.
The claws. So when you take away the claw, she just has tiny hands.
Yeah, I think we're punching Lou in the face.
Yeah, and I think also because like she's pretty short, we'd have a size advantage.
Yeah. I think we win the Lou 1v1. Okay. Rose, I think that's another trained woman. I think she's trained.
Yeah.
And I think she's trained in combat and not even.
Yeah, like she's in the because she's part of the.
She's some type of military,
Princess
right?
Garden.
Yeah. Yeah, I think she was some type of military, right?
Yeah. So so having the title Rose is like the highest position you can get in the Imperial Princess Garden. So she's probably most likely trained. Who's afterwards? Ein.
Good
Probably.
question.
I mean, and also he relies entirely on his projections to fight, or like some kind of power to
True.
fight. But
In a raw fist fight, I think we could probably beat Ain. I don't think he's two-toned.
yeah, he's more lean than anything. So
Yeah. I think we're punching Ain in the face.
I don't have much confidence, but
I think he's a maybe, but I think I'm more leaning towards we're definitely punching him in the face.
okay.
Okay. Labby, heck no. She
Labby.
actually punches in the
No.
video game. She
No, like no.
she actually
No.
punches in the actual video game. There's no way you, me, or anybody else human is beating Labby in a fist fight. She is not. She is beating the crap out of you. I don't care. You're getting decked by Labby 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Like even without Nisha.
Yeah, even without Nisha, she's knocking you flat on your face, flat on your back. Noah. He's a bit trained. Not as much as the other ones.
Yeah. But ooh.
Noah's a tough one. He's so new.
Yeah.
That's a tough.
That's
I think Ras could be beaten. Ras would let you punch her, but she wouldn't feel anything.
Yeah.
Ras would let you punch her because she thinks you're playing, and then she'd punch you back, and then it'd hurt because it's still Laffy. Like Radiant Soul would literally think you're playing with her, and then beat you up, thinking you're playing a game. That's literally the plot. That's the plot of Master Road, actually. Did you know that? Yeah, that's the plot of Gaia Master Road. Yeah, Gaia.
He's like, oh, Lavi's feeling not that great, and Guy's like, well, we can punch it out, make you feel better.
No, I think it was no, Gaia wants to train with Ara, I think. Like he wants to train with Ara, and then Lavi's like, oh, that looks fun, I want to join you guys, and then she just starts fighting with them. I literally think that's what happened.
Maybe. Actually, yeah. Wait, why didn't
Noah, I'm gonna say maybe no. He is an assassin.
That's true.
Yeah. He's very young, but he's definitely is an assassin, so I think probably not Noah. Yeah, probably not Noah. Is that it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, is the most punchable. Confirmed. I mean, punchable in the sense that if you challenge her to a fist fight, she probably lose.
Yeah. I think Aisha's losing most of these, and then maybe Ad right after. I feel like Ad is the least strongest right after Aisha, because everybody else is pretty strong.
Yep.
Oh, we got another question. For you, actually, it's for you, Sky.
Oh, okay. Since Sky wasn't here last time, which pass do I think should be canon? Ooh.
Oh yeah, we had that topic couple podcasts ago, actually. That's a good question.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I have to give not really a warning, but I guess I could just say that I prefer characters. I prefer depressing stuff.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
So I guess because of that, most of my answers will reflect that.
Yeah.
Also, I think Nightbrew is fine.
Basic main character, basic.
Yeah. Aisha, I'm fine with her being A this age as well.
Yeah.
For Brenna. I don't really have a strong opinion for any of the Rennas, actually.
Okay. I think I think I stuck with Daybreaker as well. I think so far I've said the canon paths.
So yeah, I don't particularly mind Daybreaker, but otherwise I don't really have a strong opinion in general regarding Renna. So for Raven, you know I'm just gonna say no for Raven.
I mean, that's what we said too.
Yeah. I mean, there is some bias there, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
but
To be fair, the
I
game has
think
its own bias. The game is doing Nova's story, but it just happens to be Ray charts, in my opinion.
it's true. But I think Raychart is really nice
Mm-hmm.
with because I guess Raychart's path is all about like fighting with the arm, and then at Raychart he's like, "Hey, we're stuck together. We might as well just get along."
Yeah, it's
So instead of
definitely.
like, it kind of resolves the whole like path
Mm-hmm.
in
Yeah,
general.
that's
And
the
it
main
is
thing
kind
is
of
that Ray charts comes to a resolution when he gets to that path.
yeah,
He's just like, whatever happened has happened, but I am who I am, kind of thing like that. I'm just gonna use this to my advantage instead of just rejecting it.
yeah, which is what Furious Blade does.
Yeah.
No, when Nova, the
Yeah,
arm
Fierce
doesn't.
Blade just
When Nova, the arm just gets like
Yeah, Nova. I talked about this a lot in another podcast, but I think Nova is the perfect path for Raven as a character because he focuses on his friends, so he doesn't lose either his humanity nor does he lose his free will. Uh,
mm,
but I think actually Rage Hearts does make more sense in the canon because he does go on that journey.
yeah.
He keeps his humanity. He loses a bit of who he is, but at least he keeps his humanity, kind of thing like that.
And I think what was I gonna say? Damn it, something about. I guess one thing about Furious Blade and Raycharts as opposed to Nova is that Nova still carries on the honor of the Crow Mercenaries,
Yeah.
whereas the other Ravens it's not really he seems like it's not really a thing. Like it's not really like a prevalent part of it. And
It's a lot more Ceres.
yeah, like some people are, well, I guess like you could take it as like as Nova, he didn't really let go of that. While
Yeah.
as
I think with Nova,
yeah,
it's just like everybody that I've ever cared about. That's who I'm fighting for.
yeah,
That's I think
and I
it's
guess it
perfect for his it's a perfect ending to his story. Maybe is Nova.
yeah. Mm.
Because it's for Ceres, it's for the L Search Party, it's for the Crow Mercenaries, it's for everybody that he's ever cared about.
But at the same time, you could okay, there's that interpretation. All right.
Because
Okay.
what is it? They do have that weird plot point in Solus where apparently I guess Rage Hearts doesn't care about the L Search Party. I guess.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, because
that is
Sarah,
yeah.
Sarah appeared and then. Oh wait, no wait, that's Bell. Never mind.
Yeah.
But
That's I guess that's a Rage Hearts plot point. Is that he doesn't see the L Search Party as like his real friends? I guess.
Yeah, because I think Sarah appears and then Rage Heart resolves then I guess and then I guess yeah, he realizes the Ceres is fake. But there's also that kind of sense of Ceres is gone, I've got to move on. I now have the Elf Party as my friends and they're the ones that are going to be helping me in the future now, so
the development that he had in Hall of L that for some reason I guess he didn't have. It's like yeah, I don't like that Solus part. I really don't. Yeah, I'm not a fan.
I think what Mommy Crow said, yeah. Because Fierce Blade is like this, nope.
Yeah, he's yeah, he sticks to one path and he's there. He's just there.
Yep.
He just essentially doubles down. I think that's the best way to describe it. He essentially just doubles down.
Yep. Okay, we talked quite a lot about Raven.
I mean, you think it's Raven?
For Eve, I don't have a strong opinion on.
Yeah, I think Empress just makes the most sense because she's trying to rebuild the Empire.
Yeah.
It's Empress.
I think the concept of Sari was probably my favorite because she.
Yeah, it's cool.
I think all of them want to rebuild the Empire.
Yeah, they do to a degree. I think Empress represents her being the queen the most, but I guess makes more sense with me. I think.
Yeah, whereas I think Sari would have taken an interesting twist onto this because it's kind of like, how do I say it? Because I guess actually I don't know how much rebuilding the Empire is in Sariel's story, but I know that she just wants power, and that power could be the sake of wanting to restore the Empire, but at the same time it comes at the cost of her emotions, and then which is I guess something because when you want to restore your Empire, that's usually quite emotional,
Especially Eve, who just became friends with a lot of people.
Yeah, that's quite an emotional goal, but at the same time, Sariel chooses to get rid of her emotions to to achieve an emotional goal, if it makes any sense.
Yeah.
So, I think it's. So I think for Eve, I don't mind, but I think Sarah would be very interesting.
Yeah.
Um,
Ow.
Chung? Chung, I don't have much of an opinion on either.
I think you could easily swap between CC and Scent. You know, I don't
think
think
so.
I don't think much would change. Like the only real
Yeah.
different. Do you know about Scent's story actually?
It's when he's. All I remember is his research into better artillery, but that's
Okay,
kind of
so
it.
it's essentially Rose. Echo comes to him and is just like, okay, I created this thing called the Diz Frozen Portal. If you want to try it out, I'll put it in your cannon, and it'll either kill you or do something amazing. And Chung's just like, all right, let's do it. And yeah, and yeah, and essentially it's more or less a portal to like transfer things, and they transfer from Hamel, like all the missiles and artillery and stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
But yeah, what is it? The concept of the third path is all they make a sacrifice for power. That's kind of sense little sacrifices that Diz. I'm pretty sure Diz Frozen could have killed him, but it doesn't.
Yeah, like he took a pretty big
Yeah,
risk there.
yeah, a risk for power. Yeah.
Speaking of, we forgot to talk about one more thing with Nova. Is that Nova is selfless.
100, yeah,
most selfless.
100, yeah.
I think the most selfless. Like he's happy to die for.
He will burn even his blood.
Yes.
Yeah.
Scientifically, that doesn't quite work out, but yes.
It's a thought that counts.
Yes. And then so back to the thing. I don't have a strong opinion on any of them either, but I think Debbie would be interesting.
Devi would be interesting. I think Shakti could work because it's the most Un, but I think Ara is more Rand focused in her story beats than Un focused. Like I think if Rand wasn't a plot point, I think Shakti could work.
Yeah.
Because
I think Shakti. Well, I guess Shakti's more. I want power to save my brother.
I guess.
I guess
yeah.
Yeah, I guess like so. There's another Shakti she turns. So I guess like
It just makes Un a little more important. Yeah.
Yeah, she just like turns to different sources of power.
Yeah.
I guess. Lessons. I would have loved to see Bloody Queen. 110%.
It's so weird. That is such the opposite of what she is in the actual canon. But it would be interesting.
Yeah.
It would be interesting.
Yeah, especially because like she's basically gone mad. For. Well, I mean.
Like she's still a good guy. Like she's still a good guy, but
yeah, she's just insane.
She's very unhinged. Yeah.
Yeah. I think like one reason why I want to see it canon is because I want to see how like, she interacts with the rest of the party while being this unhinged. Like, does she still have the capacity to, I guess?
She, I think,
like as in like get along and be like okay and like follow the plan instead of like losing control and rage raw.
Yeah, I think that's the big thing is that she would just be like cut to the chase, just kill them all.
Yeah, she just do her own thing, right. And I guess like maybe overcome with her, maybe like lose control of her emotions. I guess.
Like okay, you know what's a great example? I think in Rasa Rage she would have killed Rasa, if she could. Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Like they bring Rasa back, I think Bloody Queen would have just murked him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Either that or she'd try and then everyone else.
Yeah, she would. Yeah, she would try. Yeah.
Let's just add. I don't really have any strong opinions about this one.
MPX is kind of a important story beat with Ad, but it's not the most important, I guess. I suppose.
Yeah.
It's like okay. And even then, I think you could interchangeably do Doombringer versus Dominator. I think they're very similar.
Yeah.
I think Dominator's a bit more arrogant and cares less about Eve than Doombringer does, I suppose.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
It does. Lucille. I would have loved to see Dangalion be the eternal one.
That'd be funny. That'd be funny. Yeah.
Hmm. Although I think with a lot of these parts that I would have loved to see canon, like I feel like a lot of them would just go off on their own and do their own thing.
That's the thing. Yeah, a lot of these, especially third paths, are very individual. Like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like she just as soon as they get to the demon realm, she just go on a rampage.
Mhm.
I feel. But I guess especially like I like, at least for me, like I think it's a very interesting develop. I mean, of course, I know some people really don't like it, but I think her development in terms of like her relationship with Seal is.
Mhm.
Is it really a development? I feel like it just.
No, she just kind
evolved.
of subjugates him.
Yeah, like in the sense that like he's no longer really like his own person anymore. He's just
Yeah, he's like
yeah,
essentially a weapon.
yeah, and I guess, and like he could, like it makes me wonder, like, did he struggle against it? Like, did he ever want to be like because we know that like inevitably like it's gonna happen because he has that soul contract and he can't really fight against a demon lord.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you kind of wonder like. Did he willingly accept, like, at any point, did he willingly accept this? Or did he go, like, no, I want to be my own person, and then Luke had to, like, hammer it all into him by force?
Okay, I think I would be more along the lines of he just went with it because at the end of the day, I think he is the type of person to be like, okay, for better or for worse, you saved my life, essentially.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
Yeah,
and it's kind of like, you did that, and therefore...
Yeah, I think he is that type of person to be like, you know, I do owe you for saving my life, so yeah, I'll just do this.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's my take on Lucille, I guess. Although I guess Innocent makes the most sense because
she's the most queenly, essentially.
Yeah.
Or empressy? I don't know. Like Cat is just combat. That's all they are, just combat.
Yeah. But Catastrophe is quite interesting though because
they're cool.
Because Seal no longer has to rely on Lu to be his own person.
Seal is his most Seal in Catastrophe.
Yeah, like he develops the most as a person.
Yeah, on his own. Compared to Noblest, Innocent, where he's Butler Man, and Diangelion, where he's just a weapon.
Yeah. Rose. I don't really have it.
They're all kind of the same, because
except for Black Massacre.
Yeah, except for Black Massacre. Yeah.
Yeah. So they just have different ways of going about like what they want to do. So although I feel as if Minerva would be the most like logical in the sense that okay, this needs to happen, this needs to happen. I think Tempest Burster is more like I'm here for the I'm here for the big guns.
Yeah.
And then Prime Operator is I guess Prime Operator would be relatively methodical as well.
Yeah, she'd be pretty smart, I feel.
Yeah, I'm not too well versed on what their personalities are like in
Me neither. I've never played DFO.
Like the only thing I remember about Stormtrooper in DFO was that when she was like becoming a heavy gunner in the military, like she wanted to build all the weapons that the guys did, but she couldn't because obviously guys are built differently. And then she was like really like angry and annoyed at that. Like she just wanted to build like the big guns like the guys did, but she couldn't. And then eventually they developed RDX just for female heavy gunners essentially. Whereas like the guys are sitting here with their like massive like dual wielding laser rifles and all that. She's sitting here with like a massive like setup that has like a machine gun, grenade launcher, rocket launcher, flamethrower, laser gun, all in one.
That's pretty.
So,
cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's all I want to say about Rose. Although actually, Black Mass.
Would be interesting.
Massacre, I think it'd be very interesting to see how she interacts with other people, especially because she's essentially just she's a bit like Bloody Queen in the sense that she's gone mad for something, and in this case, it would be her want to protect the princess.
Yeah.
Now she just normally kills things. Like I'm doing this in the name of the princess.
Right.
Yeah. Answer for Rose. Ein. I think Balloon by far makes most sense.
Yeah, I would like to see. I would like to see Richter actually. Somebody who's more
Oh.
strict. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I remember talking about this with other people who like enjoy writing fan media of Ein,
Mm.
and a fair amount of people actually prefer Ein's second jobs over his third jobs,
Mm.
especially for Richter,
Mm.
because I think from their point of view, like Ahmed's Thaumaturgy still has some flaws. Like it's not completely perfect yet.
Right.
So I guess
Right.
there's still like emotional sides of him that you can bring out and like explore. Whereas
Mm-hmm.
for Richter, like he's now this like perfect demigod, and he's gonna strike down with all the logic in the world. Like he kind of just gets rid of a lot of the imperfections.
Yeah, that's
And
fair.
yeah, and then when you're creating content for someone who's perfect, like it's not very, because conflict is very like it's the
It's
driving
important
thing
in
for
story. Yeah.
it's important. And then but for Victor, like it's you can't really do much with that anymore because he just
Mm-hmm.
doesn't he just discarded all that emotional capacity.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, at least that's what I've heard. For
Yeah.
Blue and again, I think Blue makes more sense.
It really does. Yeah.
Pasha would just go off and do his own thing.
He's just dot dot. He's just dot dot dot. Like what he doesn't say. Like what is he? Yeah, he's not doing his own thing. He doesn't care what you guys are doing.
Yeah. Um. What's gonna say again? Oh, that's right. Okay, so I'm finished with Iron.
Yeah.
Labby. For me, I was extremely disappointed that Radiant Soul was the kind of far.
I'd actually love to see
At least,
Nisha.
mm,
Yeah. I've
yeah,
said it
in
before, but I love the Nisha story. It's a great
mm,
story. It's so
yeah.
somber, but it's the Nisha story is just quality. It's just good.
Well, I think what I like about it is that there's no happy ending.
Yeah, no,
Like
there
Labby just got, yeah, there isn't. Like Labby just got so depressed
like
that she just couldn't handle things anymore.
like what is it? One of my favorite lines is essentially because essentially at the end of the day, like this was like the best solution, quote unquote, at the end of the day. But one of her voice lines is Nisha goes like, "I miss the way that she laughs," you know, like it's such a good story beat to be like, you know, this is the best option that we had, but was it really, you know, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's such a great story beat, just to be like, we made the all or nothing decision that we thought was the best at the time, but was it really the best?
Mm.
It's
Guess what?
such
Yeah,
a good story
like
beat.
I'm a really big sucker for unhappy endings.
Right.
And so Misty has this one hit me quite differently because like Labby really she got out of the forest eventually.
Mm-hmm.
And like her friend died, and she went out of the forest, and she met all these new people.
Mm-hmm.
And then I guess in the Rain Soul Pass, she was like, "Oh wow, like it was great for me to meet all these new people. I now have new friends. I have Nisha beside me. Woo, we're gonna make the world a happy place."
Mm-hmm.
Well, as an initial one, it's more like we're gonna make the world a happy place, but
Yeah. Yeah,
it
it's
feels
very
a lot more. It's very forced. It feels forceful, I guess. It's kind of like
yeah.
Nisha's like, "I will make the world a happy place." Or Nisha,
Yeah, Nisha says that for Labby. Like
yeah,
it's
like
all
for Labby,
for
yeah,
it's all for Labby at the end of the day. Everything I do is for Labby essentially.
yeah,
Like
but I think realistically, Attorney Winner is the most realistic for me at least.
yeah,
Because she sees Nisha as this like really like negative thing in her
uh-huh.
life initially, but then she goes like, "Hey, this is okay. I just," but yeah, but eventually she learns she's like, "Okay, this." Like, I mean, initially she does treat Nisha as like
You should say that's one of her passives. It's like ew, or like she finds
yeah,
Nisha disgusting.
yeah, and also Nisha is kind of like really like it looks like Nisha's like sealed as well. Like there's like in Rumble Pond, there's like things covering the mirror.
Yeah.
Like she just really doesn't like it.
Yeah, she
And
hates
then
it.
eventually she comes to terms and she's like, "Hey, like we're stuck." Well, I mean, it's less of rage heart in terms of like we're stuck together, we might not get along. But for her, it was more like, "Hey, like using your power, you're like you're an embodiment of my negative feelings, but it's okay. Everything's gonna be okay. I just have to accept these negative feelings and make it my strength." And I
Yeah.
think that's what I like. I think that's what I like about. And I think I think like that could be a lesson to be taught in the real world as well. Like especially for people who have like a lot of negativity.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
then
yeah.
that's like kind of like everyone. Hey, it's okay. Everyone feels negative. Negativity is just a part of who we are. So we just and sometimes we have to understand that sometimes like being too positive can be a bad thing. Like, but negativity exists for a reason.
Yeah, yeah.
Like in the past, I guess it would have been for like survival instincts,
Mhm.
but like even now, like it's part of what makes us human and all that stuff. So I guess so this is the reason why I didn't really like Radiant Soul very much, because Radiant Soul seems to erase this completely. Like it's kind of
Yeah.
like, oh, I understand you, you understand me,
Yeah,
everyone's happy.
yeah, a
Ooh.
little bit way too happy-go-lucky.
Yeah, whereas in reality, that's really not the case. Like people, like there are some people that you just like it is impossible to form an understanding with them,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
simply because
You
of truth.
can't be friends with everybody.
And yeah, you just got to accept that that's a thing.
Mhm.
This is why I disagreed so much with Radiant Soul.
Yeah, like what is it? A little bit like what you were talking about, like reminds you of the Ray charts things. Is just kind of like accepting just like how things are kind of now. Like that's a big thing in the Ray charts path. Kind
Yeah.
of accepting the arm and what things happen. But yeah, yeah. ETW, yeah, actually
Mm,
that's a good point. ETW goes along a good path. You know what's funny too is that
mm,
I feel like Nisha is the most realistic thing that like a lot of people will do. Is that
mm.
we kind of like uh we're just kind of like just act very negative, and then like we hold the kind of precious memories of very close to our chest, kind of like how Nisha does with
Yeah,
Labby, and just like remembering
yeah,
the
and
past like used to be so much better and things like that.
like yeah, it's kind of like and you just kind of hold on to those memories for comfort, and you just never let that go. I mean, obviously, it's really like for obvious reasons, it's really unhealthy.
Oh yeah,
But
yeah, oh yeah, and I think Nisha explains that as well because she misses it, you know.
yeah, like it's really unhealthy, but at the same time,
Realistic.
it's realistic.
Yeah.
Realistic, yeah.
But yeah, no, yeah, no, I agree with the ETW. I think ETW learns quite a bit going along her path. Yeah, Radiant Soul doesn't really learn
Mm.
anything. She just kind of
Like understand you, you
she
understand me. Woo.
she's definitely the most labby though. I will say she's definitely the most like base labby out of all of
Yeah,
them. Yeah, and I think
yeah,
that's why she was chosen because they wanted to have like that like naive, very childish character.
mm.
Because like ETW, even though she's kind of a jerk, is very mature
Yeah,
or decently mature.
yeah. Well, at least I feel much more mature than
Oh yeah, 100% more mature than Radiant Soul.
yeah. And I guess like also that she learns like from Gaia as well. Like that's pretty much
Yeah,
that's pretty, like I inspired her fighting style. Whereas Radiant Soul just pulls stuff out of her ass.
yeah. Radiant Soul wants to have fun.
Like wow, power, friendship, oh, wife everything, or yeah,
She
flashy,
imagines a cloud and creates Gurumi.
yeah,
She
that's
wanted
it.
a friend as a cloud, and that's true.
Hmm. And
Uh,
I guess in this regard, like Eternity Winter is a lot more like realistic.
mhm.
In the sense that okay, Gaia taught me this. I really like Gaia, so I'm gonna use what he taught me. Or um, with Radiant Soul feels like she didn't really get attached to any. I mean, I think there's still like some things where she may have drawn inspiration from Gaia, but just not to the extent of Ascending Winter.
Mhm. Mhm.
Hmm. So
Uh,
yeah,
can't really say much about Noah yet, just because we're missing a path, and it's not
yeah.
confirmed who's canon yet. I know people are
I'm missing a
saying
break.
First Path is canon, but he hasn't popped up in a story quest yet.
I don't know. I think they actually just like straight up announced.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, let me just double check actually,
Okay, okay,
because I remember reading about it in a tuna fish patch note, but
okay, okay, okay. Maybe they did then.
it would
Cause that's what I was waiting
yeah.
for. I was waiting for like maybe they would show off a new area and they would show him in a cutscene of his character of his path.
Mm.
Because when
Mm.
Labby first came out, her path wasn't confirmed until they got to Master Road.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it actually says he is the breeder.
Okay, okay, okay. So he is.
I don't really know too much about Noah. Well, apart from I don't actually know too much about the breeder, but what do you think of it?
I mean, it's the only bad thing I like. Bad thing I like. The only bad thing that I don't like is the fact that he's 16 and he's hanging out with all these adults. I think that's just weird.
Adult.
Yeah.
Well, Actually, isn't he 16 because of? Actually, is he 16
Yeah,
because
it's just
of?
he essentially keeps time looping. That's the whole gimmick with Noah, is that he keeps time looping. Uh,
Hmm.
at a certain, I forget at a certain point in time, but yeah, that's why he's eternally 16 or keeps staying 16 because he's time looping.
Hmm.
Celestia, I forget the
Celestial stopped.
details, but yeah,
Oh
he
no,
doesn't time loop.
Celestial was researching. Oh, that's right. Celestial was researching something for 2 years,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
never. But that 2 years never really reflected on his body and everything. But at the very end of it, I think it was something about resolving about like making the best of his time with Clemmer, that he
Yeah.
ends up moving. So he lets the 2 years catch up to him. His body matures. His mind matures.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, he's an adult now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess in a sense, see, I can't really speak for Liberator, but
I mean, I think it's
especially about
okay at the moment. I just think the age thing is weird.
yeah. I mean, Celestia is definitely the happy ending one.
Right. But what is it?
Orange, I would think.
Liberator is probably the most. Again, I think it comes down to who is the most like their base. I think that's what it comes down to
Oh, okay.
for
Okay,
most of
fair.
these. And I think, I think Liberator is most like his base, because he is all about revenge for Ebelon. You know,
Mm.
and that's kind of who he is as a person, I suppose.
Mm.
But yeah. What is it? Okay. Let's go back on them really quick. Did you change any of them? Because it seems like most of them you kept canon.
I think most of them stayed the same, but I think if only because I didn't really have any like strong opinions.
Yeah. ETW did. I know ETW changed. Who else changed that you said you wanted to change?
Raven.
Raven. Yeah. I think Nova works better as well. It's weird because I think that's the one time they did the opposite, where I feel like Nova's the most like base Raven, because he's still cool, calm, and collected.
Yeah, but and he's also like still got that whole thing with wanting to, because in his base form, like he's just come out of like getting freed from his mind control.
Mm-hmm. Like he has I think base has a bit more vengeance, maybe.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, but he still wants redemption as base.
You could probably say that Furious Blade was his way of. Wait, no, actually no. I feel like Furious Blade is more like. It feels a bit like he's running away.
Oh yeah, 100%, 100%.
Yeah. I mean,
which still a good story.
I mean, like it is a realistic approach. Like some people really just choose to. No, we're not dealing with
Shut everything off. No. Yeah, don't deal with your problems. Yeah. If you don't think about your problems, they're not your problems anymore. Yep. Essentially. Which again, that's why I love Raven's story, because it's each of the different paths kind of symbolize each of the paths that we as people take.
Yeah.
Like even. Go ahead.
Like you can pretend it doesn't exist.
Yeah, you can pretend it doesn't exist. You can deal with your problems, but you still have your problems. Yeah. Or
you can just.
What is it?
Sit.
Just be a good person. What is it? Just use your life experiences to just be a good person.
Yeah, or just I don't know. I feel like with Dover, like he just kind of like he kind of changes the problem to be his like a strength, I guess. It's a bit like how Lavi uses negativity as a strength. He's more like, okay, well, the problem is I can't let go of the past. And he's like, okay, yeah, I can't let go of the past, but I'm gonna choose not to let go of it. I'm gonna let it like fuel me and drive me forward.
Yeah.
And I think that's viable.
Yeah, that's why I think that's his best path for him as a person.
I mean, ultimately he still lets the problem sit there.
He
still doesn't let go of it.
Yeah.
It's not really holding him down anymore.
Yeah, it's not. What is it? He's not completely rejecting it like he does at Rage Hearts, and he's not completely ignoring it like as FB. He's using it.
Yeah.
Like eventually Rage Hearts gets to that point, but like Weapon Taker gets to that point immediately.
Yeah, he's like, well, I want to use my arms to buff myself.
Yeah, help people.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, if that's all, I think that is that. I believe. Any other last comments?
I don't think so.
We did get 2 more questions that we haven't. Yeah, Blazing Blackhearts. I wish you were here earlier when we were trying to struggle to find questions because he posted 2 questions I think recently.
Yeah.
Uh, so we'll say let me screenshot them. We'll save them for next time. He
Sure.
said, if you could make your own character, what weapon would it have? That's a good question.
Mhm.
And then well, I put this down. What was the first? He asked one earlier. It was yeah. This is a fun one as well. What character do we think could do the most damage to society?
Okay.
I think that's a cool one as well. Yeah, we'll answer
Hmm.
that most likely next time. Maybe.
Yeah.
But I
Hmm.
say, next week is the 13th, which is a day before Valentine's Day. So we might do some type of
Wait.
relationship advice or something like that. I don't know.
No, next week is the 14th. Wait.
No, no.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
I was gonna
for the Aussies. Yeah,
say.
for the Aussies, for the Aussies. Yeah,
Anyway,
yeah. For us,
okay, but then you can be Australian for that.
yeah. Yeah, that's true. Next week is technically your guys' Valentine's Day, but for us it'll be the 13th.
Hmm.
So we might do more questions along that side of things. Or we might just go with what we have. Yeah, we'll see.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah. That is it from us. Hope you guys enjoyed, had a good time. Don't forget, we're always free to for any questions. Ask them in the YouTube comments of the video I'm gonna post on Monday. Ask them in the Twitch chat. Even in my own Discord channel, there is a section for podcast questions. So if you just happen to think of something as you're like walking about your daily day, post it there. Yeah, post it there. But yeah, that's it for us. We will see you guys next week.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
All right. Thanks for tuning
Bye.
in.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.